Assalamualaikum and hello YouTube, my name is Nur Muhammad from AnyWatch, and we are looking at, or we are revisiting a watch in my collection, which is the San Martin SN0023, right? So when look at it, you guys will know what this watch is an homage of, but not really a direct copy of the, you know what, let's just say it, Tissot PRX Powermatic 40mm, right? So I've got this particular watch because I wanted to see whether a PRX 40mm would look, how it would feel, how it would wear on my wrist, and to my surprise, I think I'm not gonna be getting the 40mm version of the real thing. So and even I've tried the 36mm version PRX at the store, and I still think that is a bit too small. And for me, I think if Tissot ever produce a 38mm version, that would be perfect for me. So what happens to this SN0023 then? So I'm planning to sell this, but before I do that, let's just re-review it and see how it feels or how it looks. So how do I feel about it after almost a year of wear, right? So let's just do a dimension check first. I think this one is 40mm, right? So yeah, 40mm bang on. A lug to lug, this is a bit tricky because the lug to lug, you know what, from the case, just the case itself is about 45, like mentioned in the spec sheets. But the most annoying bit about this particular piece is that first ending, right? It's because it produces way too far, and it gives it an effective lug to lug of about 52.9, which for me, for a 6.75 inch wrist, is a bit too long, right? So the thickness is 10.6mm. This one is mainly due to the use of Miyota 9015 in this particular movement. Of lug width, yeah, that bit here is 12mm. So there's no lug width here, but the bracelet is basically tapering from 25mm down to, right, so down to 17.8mm at this butterfly class. So basically we're going to be calling that 18, right? So size up for my 6.75 inch wrist. So I have to wear this a bit loose because it's very difficult to get a good fit on this particular piece. So 131 grams, so that is cool. And yeah, like I mentioned just now, it is using a Miyota 9015 movement, so basically a premium movement from Miyota, right? So let's talk about the finishing of the bracelet, sorry, the case, right? So brush finishing on the top. So basically the San Martin, as usual, San Martin produces high quality finished watches, right? So especially on the case and on the bracelet. So you can see here the polish finishing on the top of the bezel here, and the side of the bezel is very nicely done. We'll do a macro shot later on. Polish finishing on the bezel, stop, chamfer, and also this side here. Let's just zoom in, and a polish beveling on the case. So the case itself is quite flat, so there's a bit of downturn here, but not that much. And the first link, this is it's basically fixed. You don't have any articulation here. The first articulation is basically on the second link, so you can see that there's a polish bit here. So the brush finishing on the bracelet itself is nice, right? So brush and polish, but this side of the bracelet, so this, right, so this, what do you call this, this cutting, so the cutting surface here is it doesn't really feel that cheap, but it's not as usual as your usual San Martin standard, I must say, right? So, and if you are comparing this to the real PRX, so the PRX bracelet is finished much better, and the PRX is using a what do you call this, a split pins, which is much easier to resize. This one is using a single bar, and resizing this thing is a bit of it's very difficult to resize unless you have the proper tools, which I did after I bought this particular watch, right? Which I did have after I bought this particular watch, right? So that's about the bracelet and the finishing on the dial. So this one is featuring a sunburst blue dial, which is much more beautiful compared to the Tissot PRX Powermatic, in my opinion at least, right? So, and it doesn't have any dead wheel, which for me is the better choice. But still, if you like a dead wheel on your PRX, yeah, it's not going to be available on this particular San Martin. Right, so applied indices lume filled with BGW9 Super Luminova is way much stronger compared to the real thing. In fact, I've compared this to the real PRX, so you can find it in my video description below. And yeah, for the finishing on the dial, finishing on the applied San Martin logo, and even finishing on the hands, those polish hour hands and also mini hands, these are finished much better compared to the Tissot. And but for the price that you can get this for around $200 US, yeah, you can't fault it. But still, there are many people telling me if you can get it for $400, so why don't go the real thing? So of course you can get the quartz version of the PRX for about $250 US, but I want an automatic watch. If I am to buy the quartz version of the PRX, I will not be wearing it. So yeah, still I think if you guys want, if you guys have bigger wrist and you can handle this flat case design of the San Martin, yeah, this is a much better option for you compared to the PRX Powermatic, right? So printing on the dial is nicely done, and yeah, the crown is a little bit too small, but still usable, right? So this is about 5 millimeters in diameter, so that's nice. So hand winding the Miyota 9015 is nice and easy. So you can see the 4 hertz ticking second hands there, right? So to adjust it, just we have to, there is a ghost state position, right? So second click, so second, right? So just go to 10 second position, hex the movement, and screwing it back in is really easy, right? So of course we have 100 meters of water resistance, claim water resistance, however, so not big of a deal to me because I'm not going to be going and diving anytime soon on this particular watch. But yeah, still a nice thing to have, right? So butterfly class, much better. You know, so you see here that not much wiggle here. And you guys know I'm not really a fan of butterfly class. Of course they also have this quick release pins here, but Sanmartin themselves, they never even offer an aftermarket option or strap option for this particular piece. I'm not really sure whether the aftermarket leather strap or rubber strap for Tissot PRX fits this thing, but yeah, I might gonna try. But you know what, I'm gonna be selling this piece, so yeah, I'm not gonna be buying any straps for this soon, because yeah, I think this is just too big for my wrist, right? So talking about that, let's do a quick wristwatch check. And I'm wearing my San Martin SN0023, an homage to oops, is that I forgot to wind it. SN0026, another watch that I wanted to move on, right? Because I've had this for more than 1 year now, and I think I really need the funds to purchase another watches for my collection, right? So yeah, these two are going out from my collection, so please do check out my carousel page later, maybe tomorrow or in the next few days, right? So this is how it looks. Yeah, you can see that there's a huge gap there. So yeah, that's what is one of the reason why I don't want to keep this anymore. I just, you know what, let's just move it on for others who enjoy it, right? So let's just quickly put on the macro lens and see the finishing in more details right there. So you can see that the hands, the finishing on the hands, the polish finishing on the top and side, I think it is also polish on the hands, right, as you can see there. So, and the lume, I can tell you guys that this lume perform way much better compared to the PRX, and the applied indices are all really nicely done. And of course the sapphire crystal is flat, right? So yeah, check out that 3D look to the indices, right? So the case finishing is, you know, as usual, your excellent case finishing from San Martin. Okay, polish finishing on the bevel. Yep, too many smudges, guys, sorry about that. And the finishing on the brush, sorry, I think this is a laser edge San Martin crown there, right? So again, polish finishing on the bezel is nicely done as well. And the bracelet, so there's no burst or whatever, but still you can feel there's no R to these edges, so that feels a bit you know, sharp, but not, you know, it doesn't really, it will not hurt your wrist, right? So let's just quickly take off the lens, macro lens, and just give these two watches a quick blast of lume, right? So you guys ready? let's just charge these two guys. So both are using BGW9 Super Luminova, and for a non-dive watch, so the SN0023 performs really nice, right? So see that, so awesome lume. This one is of course a dive watch, but this one is this SN006 is a printed indices, but on the applied indices on the SN0023 it performs really nice, and I can even wear this all night long, right? So, and the lume will stay until early in the morning, right? So in conclusion, what do I think about this particular piece? Good if you have a bigger wrist than mine, right? So I have a 6.75 inch wrist, so 7 inch or bigger will definitely fit much nicer of this particular piece. And if you don't mind a homage of a PRX, so this one is a great option, right? So the other AliExpress options will be the like the Pagani design, but I don't think that will have that doesn't have any Miyota high beat movement, that doesn't have any good lume, and I don't I haven't checked it out though, but yeah, still I think finishing wise and movement wise, San Martin is better, but they are not giving any more future model revision to this particular piece. They are only available in blue and black and also white. And other than that, yeah, I don't think San Martin, even San Martin, going to improve this model even better. Right. So, anyways, good option though if you don't mind. If you don't want to spend just $200 for a PRX, looks like, which high quality high quality movement and high quality case finishing, right? So anyways, if you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. If you want to get this watch on my carousel page, so I will leave a link down below. And yeah, if you guys like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and bye bye.